Yo, what's going on, Crunch Gang? Welcome back to another episode of that J Square Crunch Time. That J Square Focus, hold it. Today I want to tell y'all which parks I go to, just in case you guys want to come to these parks and come and check it out. Today I am at the 1,000 Acre Park in Troutdale, Oregon. So if you're ever in Oregon or you live in Oregon and you want to come out to this park, it's a beautiful park. There's a whole bunch of, it's a dog park, mind you. So behind the camera, there's a whole bunch of dogs playing over there. There's a beautiful lake. As you can see, the sun is setting. And so I just knew I had to, get on here and record. So, if you're new to the podcast, these podcasts are where I come on here. I share struggles and adventures throughout my life with y'all. That way we can all learn and grow together, because I know that trying to do things alone is very hard, because I've tried myself. And I want to, as I learn from other people, to just be able to share that with y'all. So here we are. I don't know what episode this is, but I'm surprised I got this far. We're almost in double digits, I think. What episode is this? 8? 7? This is episode 8. So we're almost in double digits. Also, before I get into the podcast, Key and I's podcast coming real soon. We just have to finish filming in one other location, but that podcast is fire. So when it drops, go watch it. But without further ado, let's get into it. So the 3 topics that I have today for y'all are distractions, words and thoughts are powerful, and what's your happiness. Let's go ahead and dive deep. I brought my water this time because that walk, the walk to get here, it wasn't that far. It was like 12 minutes. But I didn't drink water before this, so it really is a beautiful area. I'm not gonna lie, the sun is setting just right, so I want to go ahead and do this podcast before the sun fully sets, because it's getting there. But so the first topic today is distractions. And now, what I mean by distractions doesn't necessarily just mean social media or the people we hang out with. I've noticed that throughout these last couple of months, I've been distracting myself with goals. I've been distracting my current self with goals that I've had for myself. I've noticed that throughout the day, I will continue to focus on what I could be doing, stuff that I want to be doing in the future, things that I'm not even doing correct at certain times. I'll be distracting myself of, okay, well, if I do this, how am I going to feel by the end of the day? And I'm not saying that reflecting is never a bad thing, at least from my experience, but distracting myself from truly enjoying a moment has shown to me to not work so well. And an example that I want to give is, for my birthday, that was a few weeks ago, my family wanted to take me out for a nice dinner for my birthday to celebrate it, because I was turning 20, only turned 20 once. I was so distracted by not deserving it. I was so distracted by, no, don't take me out to dinner just yet. I haven't worked as hard as I want to. Take me out to dinner when I truly feel like I've worked hard. I distracted myself from that. It was before the dinner, but before the dinner, I distracted myself with that. They told me 3 days before the dinner. Those 3 days, I distracted myself with those thoughts, because in my head, I just didn't feel deserving of it. And I just wanted to truly feel like I earned it. And so I distracted myself from it, and it made it so hard to be excited for it. It made it very hard to be excited and present. But when we got to that date, they sat me down and they told me, one, you're going anyways, but 2, don't focus on whether or not you earned it or not, because you're going to receive it anyways. What I got out of that conversation was, I was so distracted by feeling like I needed to work hard enough to earn something that it kind of distracted me from why I was truly even getting this dinner. One, it was my birthday. I feel like another year, and I want to kind of say this in the best way that I can, but I felt like I needed to earn the dinner instead of appreciating that someone is giving me the dinner. That's why I don't really like when people give me nice things or gifts, just because I never feel like I earned it. But it's not that I need to truly stop distracting myself from the kind of earn thing, just because I know a lot of us, maybe growing up or depending on how we worked, you work to earn. A lot of us are taught that you work hard, you earn. In school, if you work really hard, you do your homework, you get all your assignments done, you get a little star. You get a little sticker. Throughout, life in school, we're kind of taught to work and then you earn. And so I carried that into my adulthood, which distracted me from truly appreciating the things that people have been giving me this entire time. But that was just an example of where I distracted myself with, 1, thinking that I needed to earn something, but 2, distracting myself with something that has yet to even happen. I'm so caught up in, okay, let me do this first and then I want this. But it's like, what if I never do that? then will I ever feel like I will ever earn a dinner? But I want to, you know what I'm saying? So that's just an example of distractions. I know that all of us want to get to a point in life. I know all of us do. I know all of us have goals, but I also know that all of us sometimes get frustrated with ourselves because we never get to those goals maybe as quick as we want to. Maybe when we got to the goal, it wasn't as amazing as we thought it would be. And I truly believe that the way that the world is now, we're getting thrown so many things at once, especially on, you know, social media. And I don't like to always bring up social media, but I truly feel that, especially as a person my age, 20-year-old, we're on social media a lot. But you know, you have social medias like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, or X, Facebook. You have so many things that you can just press on, and it feeds you so many things at once that when it's time to kind of calm down and not be so distracted by something, it makes it so hard to do that. And the thing that has worked for me is when talking to the people around me, just especially just sitting down with family and talking to them and being honest with them about, I feel distracted by this, or I overthink about this and I'm not able to appreciate or be present in this. And it don't even have to be your family. But I truly believe that people who have gone through things and that are a lot older than you are, a lot of the times don't want to see you fail. Whoa, that's cap. People who are close to you and love you don't necessarily want to see you fail because you are a reflection of them, especially parents. You're a reflection of your parents. So your parents are never going to want to like watch you, look at you fail and be like, well, let me push them out into the world. Let me show the world that this is my creation and this is what I did. And so talking to my family has absolutely helped with my distractions. Even just telling them, like, I get distracted easily by friends and family. I get distracted by friends and family. My family too. My family distracts me for sure. I'll sometimes get to a point of relaxation and rest. And instead of taking that time to pray or read the Bible or to learn more about myself, I kind of use that time to fill up a little bit of like game time. That way I can push back learning more about myself and reading the Bible a little bit because I felt like I earned it. But again, that's just another distraction. It's just another distraction. What I would recommend with that, what has helped me, is getting rid of my distractions. Deleting social medias, just deleting them. I would recommend deleting them for a day. Like, just delete it for a day. If you work on social media, I get it. Like, if that's how you make bread, if that's how you bring bread home, obviously 100% I get it. But if you don't, what's the need to kind of have it for that day? Just like delete it for that day. And if you can't, and you know, take it slow because we're all at different points in our life. We all just kind of go through our own paths in life. Like, we all got to take our own steps to get there. So if you can't delete social media right now, not all social media, you know, try deleting one. Try putting screen time on it. Try, you know, just putting your phone down in certain situations. Like, try to start off small and take the steps to get there. But social media, deleting social media has definitely worked for me. I start putting my phone on what is it called? D&D, do not disturb. I put my phone on do not disturb, and I try my best to have times in my day where things are still. I try my best to be able to have times in my day where I'm not worried about the future, I'm not focusing on the past, I'm not overthinking anything, and everything's kind of still, where I'll either pray, I'll meditate, I'll play with, you know, my buddy here. I will take a bath, just relax. I'll go on a walk and just breathe, or I'll do podcasts. You know what I'm saying? But truthfully, I think distractions, especially with this generation, you got like the Apple Vision Pros coming out. You got the whole what's his name? The Elon Musk with the nano chips, the neuro chips. You got so many things being thrown at you that you want to do research on, and you look at it, and then and then you got social media in the way. So it's a lot of distractions in life, and we just got to get rid of them. We just got to get rid of them. And so I would recommend, from what has worked for me, is deleting social medias. Put phone on D&D, do not disturb. Start 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you'll get used to it. Like, sometimes I forget my phone is even on do not disturb, and I'll get so many notifications, and I'm like, oh, my fault. The sun went down. That's okay. The next topic on here is words and thoughts are powerful. I think it was this last week and a half that I really kind of noticed that words and thoughts are a lot more powerful than I truly thought they were. I got very anxious about something. I'm not gonna get into too much detail, but I got very anxious about something, and it wasn't normal for me to get anxious. My anxiety, I don't really get anxious with anything, and so it wasn't very normal for me to get anxious. But when I got anxious, I was playing with friends at the time, and I got anxious about something, and I immediately stopped playing with friends. I took my headphones off, and I started to pray. That was it. I just started to pray. Normally, I would get anxious and try to play the game to distract myself, and then right after I was done with the game, I'd start rethinking and getting more anxious. But I stepped away and I prayed, and I started focusing my thoughts on why am I anxious. I started focusing my thoughts on, do I even want to feel like this? And then I started telling myself it's gonna be okay, regardless of the result, regardless of what you have to do in the situation. Like, it's gonna be okay. And that to me was the first time that I've ever used my thoughts to calm myself down. Normally, I'll tell myself positive affirmations throughout the day, not to necessarily calm myself down, but to always bring my spirit up, of course. But that was the first time that I've ever used my thoughts to truly calm myself down. And that's when I started to realize that, not now, but words and thoughts throughout your day guide your life. For sure, guide your life and guide your mood. I go to bed every day. I never go to bed angry, but I go to bed every day thinking to myself, the next day is going to be amazing. Because if I go to bed and in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, it's another day, like, it's gonna be alright. I'm not working with the people that I want to. Like, I'm not seeing the people that I want to. It's a Monday. Nobody wants to be doing school. Nobody wants to be working this early. Like, obviously, no one wants to do that. But when you flip the script and you flip your mindset, I don't remember who said this, but instead of saying I have to do this, try and say like I get to do this. I've been telling myself that, okay, tomorrow I get to be able to go to work, see people, talk to some new people. I get to be able to, after work, shoot a podcast. That's what I told myself yesterday. I get to be able to shoot a podcast, come home, relax, eat a nice, amazing dinner. Side note, I had KFC for the first time last night. It did kind of hit though. That KFC kind of hit. I'm not gonna lie. It hit a little bit. I had the chicken little combo with the fries and the fruit punch. That chicken little was cool. I was looking at the chicken. It was looking a little... I'm off topic. I was telling myself that I get to do all these amazing things, so I'm not going into the next day negative. Because if I think negative at night, I'm going to wake up and be like, oh man, I'm here. This sucks. I can't wait till this day is over just for me to be angry again at the end of the day, to redo the thing the next day. And so just changing your mindset, just changing your words and changing your thoughts help push your day to be so much more amazing. And one thing that I've been doing, and I feel like I've said this in my last podcast, was I have a journal that's called, I think it's just called My Personal. And every single night, well, not every single night, but most nights, I will go on there and I'll write the date down and I'll write random thoughts. And on there, I will go throughout there and I will write the random thoughts from my day. And the reason I do this is because but the random thoughts journal is full of positive things. I don't want to ever write down a negative thing in there because I don't want to look back at it and feel a negative emotion. And so I want to write down super positive things. I don't know if y'all can hear this dog barking. I hope not. I hope it doesn't bother y'all. It is a dog park, so... But on the random thoughts, whatever date it is, I will write down random thoughts from that day. And the reason is because then I will be able to look back at my day and see so many new things that I probably didn't even notice throughout my day, that just make not doing the same day again, but make going into the next day so much more amazing. And some examples I can give with that is, I'll go throughout work and I'll we all turn on autopilot mode. We'll just start doing the work just because, it's early, we're tired. We'll turn on autopilot mode and I'll have conversations. I'll have conversations with people. I'll have conversations. Hi, buddy. What was I gonna say? I'll talk to people and I'll have great conversations with people, or I'll go throughout my day with my buddy. But having that journal to me allows me to kind of turn off that autopilot and really focus on the little things throughout my day, because I'll be able to just look at like conversations that I had with people, or maybe on the bus, maybe I saw something and I didn't really notice it because I had my headphones in, and I'll look back at that and I'll be like, saw this, thought about this, talked to this person about this, and it'll help me truly look back at my day and be like, that day was really amazing. That ties into going to bed and being like, okay, maybe that day wasn't that bad, like maybe I did have some fun, maybe I can have some more fun tomorrow, even if you know, in a work stance, even if the person I work with isn't coming to work that day, or even if my best friend isn't coming to school that day, or even if it's a Monday and I just had the weekend off, or I just came back from vacation, like I started telling myself in my head that, because I work a lot, and so I started telling myself in my head that the moments where I don't work and times where I don't work, where I have like, you know, weekends off or days off, I will always get back to those points in my life. I will always get back to the parks. I will always get back to the peace. I will always get back to the relaxation. But to me, if I tell myself throughout the week that like if I work really hard, that relaxation will feel so much greater. It feels so much greater when I finally get there. And I know like I want to kind of switch my podcast into more positive pushing things, because I know I've said on my podcast before that like this is why I was going through a bad path and this is what helped me, or get away from these distractions because they won't necessarily help you, or I know that we all do things that we don't want, so stop doing that. And so telling, you know, people or putting on my channel that kind of stuff, I've realized that it's never not that it's negative, but it doesn't feel that kind of positivity to me, if that makes sense. And so I want to tell y'all, you know, let's be a little bit more positive about life. You know what I'm saying? Let's switch our thoughts. Let's switch our what did I say? Words. Let's switch our thoughts and our words. Let's truly start just being kind to people. Let's just, you know, it don't take a lot to walk up to somebody and tell them you like their glasses, you like their shoes, their shirt, whatever they got on. Maybe they got it on that day, you know what I'm saying? Tell them they got it on. It takes so much more effort to think about something mean to say to somebody than it does to just be like, you know what, that person's just doing them. They just doing them. They really just doing them. But you know, again, don't like bringing up social media, but social media is to blame. We get very comfortable with making fun of people and things just go on a spiral. But truthfully, changing your words and thoughts, because words and thoughts are so powerful. I truly feel it and I know it. Manifestation truly is real. The biggest example I want to give to this is when I went through kind of the most anxiety and depression that I ever went through in my life, I was so kind to everybody around me. You could never, the way I felt inside never dictated how I was going to treat people on the outside. And the reason I'm saying this is because when I finally got to a point where I wanted to treat myself the way I was treating other people, it was so much easier. But I felt like it was because of the ripples. I felt like I always told myself that I wanted to start being kind to myself. I just never started, and I didn't know where to start. But when I finally did start, it was so easy, and I felt like it was kind of like that karmic cycle of being nice to people kind of rippled effect into it being so easy to be nice to myself. Because I can't imagine if I let the way I felt inside dictate how I was going to treat people on the outside, and then get to a point where like I wanted to start being kind to myself. And so that's why I say words and thoughts are so powerful. If you think negative about you, yourself, your body, the people around you, you're going to start seeing them negative, and then your thoughts about them are going to be negative, and then your interactions are going to start getting more negative. As we start changing our pattern, our speech, and our thoughts, things truly do start to change. I promise y'all they do. And I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't mean it. But I truly mean it. Like they really do change. Everything starts to change. You see it slowly change. Definitely with myself. But to tie into the last topic for today, I hope you guys are kind of understanding what I'm trying to get at today. Today is more of a more positive kind of podcast, more positive vibe. I mean, we outside with it. The sun is gone, so no biggie. But yeah, before I get into my last topic, I want to go back on my last two, which is with the distractions. I kind of wanted to just say that I've noticed myself getting distracted by non-bad things, and I'm trying to get myself into not fully getting rid of those things, but just understanding that I need to put a limit on those. And so, not saying that everything that distracts you is bad, and it's kind of easy to get rid of the bad distractions, and it's not so easy to get rid of the distractions that we like. But to get to where we want to, sometimes we got to do things that we don't like. And that's kind of just the way that life is. But just getting rid of distractions that aren't necessarily bad for you help you in the long run. They truly do, because they truly do. Another example I would give to that is I moved from state to a state. I moved from one state to another state. I moved from I moved from Washington to Oregon. When I moved to Oregon, I distracted myself with thoughts of being like, I will never find the same friends that I did before. That it's hopeless. Like, I had so much fun with those friends. Like, it'll never be the same. And then when I got to a point where I couldn't even distract myself with that anymore because I had so much homework and sports going on, and I finally just was like, all right, let me just talk to the people around me because I have to now. I made so much more amazing friends. Like, it was so easy to kind of get rid of those distractions and those thoughts, changing my thoughts because they're powerful. It became so easy to just enjoy the moment. And when it comes to just words and thoughts are powerful, is that we don't notice kind of the little things that we say in our head. We'll look at somebody and be like, yeah, what they got on ain't it? Or we'll say something under our breath and be like, I don't care about that for real. And it just changes our mood, and we know it's the little things that add on to the bigger things. They really do. And so that's why, even if you don't want to walk up to somebody and compliment them, just compliment them in your head, because you'll get to a point where it becomes repetition. For me, it definitely did, where I'll look at somebody now and I'll just look at them and be like, you know what, I don't agree with what they're doing, but they're just doing them and they're enjoying life. Like, some of the people that we look at and we disagree with what they're doing, and they might be doing some outlandish things, are enjoying life way more than we are half the time. So it's like, why judge them? You know what I'm saying? When we're in life where we want to be, which is just, happy and peace. The last thing that I want to say, because it's getting a little cold, is what's your happiness? I want to ask y'all, what's y'all's happiness? I want to end this with a high note. I want to end this podcast episode with, asking y'all, what's your happiness? Where do you guys find your happiness? I'll give a few examples. I find my happiness with this guy right here. I got him back in July, I forget the date, and ever since I've gotten him, he has been my best friend. He's been my buddy. He's with me 24/7, and I don't think I would be where I'm at right now without him. I know that he's absolutely helped me in the longest run. He's just dogs are just great companions. I find so much happiness within this guy, because dogs are always just happy too. Dogs are always just outgoing and happy. So, but I also find happiness in doing these podcasts and trying my best to spread a positive message to help y'all. Can y'all see my breath now? Oh yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go. But spreading a positive message to help y'all, because I know that God has put me on this earth, and He's given me the ability to be able to be as creative as I am now, and the ability to be as confident as I am now with what I'm saying and trying to spread a great message and trying to spread His word, which, over the time, I'm still reading my Bible. So over the course of my life, I pray that I can truly start to understand His word enough that I can share it with y'all. But I find so much happiness in doing these podcasts and seeing, just the reaction and comments from y'all. If y'all haven't seen The Pivot, go watch it. It's probably like a top 3 video on YouTube. I say like a top 3, maybe 2, top 2, and not the 2. You know what I'm saying? But I would really recommend go watch it. It kind of just explains where I'm headed with this channel. Like I was saying, I truly enjoy. I find happiness in helping y'all in the best way I can with the knowledge that I have. I don't have all wisdom, but I pray that I can get enough wisdom to just help out that one person that's watching this. Just anybody watching this that's seeing this message, that understands where I'm coming from, or that feels my light or my energy. I pray that I can help y'all. I truly do. And lastly, I find happiness in spending time with the people close to me. Spending time with my family, and playing games with friends. I find a lot of happiness, and not even playing games, just talking to my friends. We don't even have to be playing games. I find a lot of happiness in that, because it's friends that went to middle school with. Have they been on this channel? One has been on this channel, but it's friends that I went to middle school with, and I just find, we've gone through a lot in life, separate from each other, and the fact that we're still locked in, it means the world to me, and I pray that we could just continue to go far and focus on our paths and just continue to just do great things. So I want y'all, if you made it this far, to comment down below, what's your happiness? Is it your family? Is it your puppy? Do you go to like a little coffee shop on the corner on like every Saturday that you like going to? Do you like eat a little cookie, eat a little sweet on the day you shouldn't? And you find a little happiness in that, like you know what I'm saying? Just like your guilty pleasures, you can put your guilty pleasures in there. But even if you don't, I want you to just think about it separately. I want you to sit down and think about the times that the times recently where you found so much happiness in this year, because it's a new year, new us. That's what we're doing this year. We're spreading only positivity, and we're being only positive over here. But that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of the Jay Scugger podcast. It's gotten cold, and so we wrapping it up. We end every episode with a prayer, so I want y'all to come and pray with me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Oh, Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for allowing me to come out today and be able to spread a positive message to all the people watching. I pray that whoever's watching this, at least one person can look at this video and truly appreciate the message and take something from it and implement it in their own life. I pray that you continue to just protect all of us, and you just put your grace, your glory, and your light all over our lives. You sprinkle a little bit there, sprinkle a little bit here, sprinkle a little bit there. We are all trying to do things ourselves, but we should be seeking your love and your glory. And so I pray that for the people watching this, that y'all continue to just be, I ask that you help them to just continue to be amazing people, because every one of y'all are some amazing people, and I want to say that I love you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Without further ado, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. We on episode 8. It's cold as a bit, so we out there. But yeah, I want to say I love y'all and peace.